Take me to the next level.
Ladies and lords, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the kingdom, another great day in the kingdom. Before we start with the video guys, I would appreciate if you like, comment, share and subscribe. But yeah, let's get into it. So this week there was the Switch 2 reveal. I thought it was amazing. It was a 1 hour direct. They covered literally everything down to a T. So yeah, from that direct there was good and bad. But I want to start on the bad stuff, only because I think it's really important, and then we can kind of, lead into the positive and end on a good note. So the first thing is that physical media. Now the Switch 2 does support physical media. They have a new cartridge for the system, but what's become very clear is that following the market trend, Nintendo, will be slowly moving to an all digital platform. Now again, this isn't unreasonable, it's common sense. Look at the market trends. The split of buying physical and digital is now 50-50 for Nintendo. Maybe it might even be 60-40 now on the digital side, but this is something we have to deal with. I'm a big physical guy, a big physical media person, but look, that's the reality. Hopefully Nintendo hold out, because PlayStation and Xbox, it's completely clear they're going fully digital for the next systems. But yeah, physical media is looking like it's gonna go by the end of this generation, and it also seems like Nintendo's strategy for selling software is also nudging people to move more to the digital side. So yeah, it is what it is. Now, to piggyback off of that, let's talk about these game keys. Now, there was a lot of confusion, a lot of misinformation about the game keys on the Switch 2, but just to make it very simple, they are effectively physical cartridges without the game data on them, and you put it in your Switch, it unlocks, and you have access to the game. That is effectively what a game key is, or game key card is. I'll also put up an image, hopefully it will work. I'll put up an image or put a link in the description so you can see exactly how it works. But ultimately it's just a gateway key, and like I said, physical media is dying. Nintendo are moving forward, but I think the one positive from this is that I believe the game key cards can be resold. So usually with download codes or keys, it's a one-time download and it's tied to that account, it's tied to that system, you can't do nothing about it. But I think with the game key cards, they are resellable, so the second-hand market will still be alive, and you can probably borrow it to your friend or a family member. So I think that's one positive spin on the game key cards. But yeah, that's something that a lot of fans are upset about and I completely understand. And the last point, again to piggyback off the piggyback, is the pricing. Now, for me, in my region is the UK, if you can tell by my accent, the pricing is okay. It's considering what they're packing into the system itself, the pricing is somewhat understandable. So for the system itself, the Switch 2 by itself is $395.99, I believe. So under £400, which again isn't too bad considering what they're putting. Then the bundle with, I believe, Mario Kart World is $429, I believe, top of my head. But the real issue with the pricing is the pricing of the first party games. So Mario Kart World in dollars is $80, and I think the equivalent in the UK, I think it might be £70. I think I want to say £70. And look, Nintendo increased the price on the Switch 1 with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom to £70 or £65, I believe, and that was them dipping their toe. Now that the Switch 2 is here, look, Nintendo have decided, we want money, here's how much this game's gonna cost, you're gonna pay for it. And like I always tell people, yes, Nintendo make great experiences and great games on consoles, they are not your friend. They are a corporation and they love getting money. Just like the next corporation, they love getting money. So a lot of people are upset because if going forward every single first party Nintendo game is £80 or £75, it does what's what I'm looking for? It does freeze out younger gamers. It does freeze out a certain class of people, and I think now that's a whole other conversation. But I think it is something to consider. Gaming has always been a expensive hobby, but it's something to kind of remember that gaming is for everyone, and everyone should have access to it. So, yeah, that's one of the unfortunate things with the pricing of the Switch 2. Now, with that said, let's try and put a positive spin on this lovely reveal Nintendo had for us. So during the reveal of the Switch 2, all the hardware specs and the gameplay from the Nintendo Treehouse, the console looks amazing. Like, the system itself looks very sleek, very modern, a lot of great features, and it also has, and the graphical capabilities we've seen so far are very, very impressive. Now again, so one positive is that it supports 4K. Look, I grew up on Nintendo basically my entire life, and I kid you not, I wasn't there for the era when they were the most powerful platform on the market. I played the GameCube to death. I still have one. I played my N64 to death, but as a child, I wasn't perceiving the power of Nintendo. My brothers remember when they were battling toe to toe with PlayStation, Sega, and Xbox. But I grew up really and truthfully when I'm seeing the graphical fidelity on the Wii, Wii U, and Switch, DS, Game Boy. They were always behind. So for me personally, I'm so happy that the Switch 2 supports 4K, and with the art style that they have on their games, art direction, and the color schemes they use, look, the games are gonna look beautiful, and I'm so excited. And to piggyback off of that, the Switch 2 supports 120 frames. Good God Almighty. Now look, in the Kingdom, we don't like to talk blasphemy, but when I saw them say that in the direct, I thought it was blasphemy. And the handheld in the Switch 2 in handheld mode supports 120 FPS, and if your TV supports it, it will also do it in TV mode. So a game that they showed at the Treehouse was Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. That game looks amazing in 4K 60 and 4K 120. Sorry, 1080p 120. Excuse me. And look, 120 frames. I will probably experience that mostly on handheld mode. My TV is great. It just doesn't do 120. It has all the bells and whistles and stuff, but it doesn't do 120. And you know, I'm just like, whew. The games look amazing. The games look just the sharpness, the fluidity, fantastic. And lastly, with the good news is that the Switch 2 is effectively 99% backwards compatible. Now, Nintendo did say this before, I think to their investors, and they said it semi-recently before the Switch 2 reveal with the gaming media, that will be backwards compatible. And you know what? Historically, Nintendo have done that. They try to be backwards compatible. And for me, knowing that all my games are gonna work, I'm happy. I plug the cart in, and boom, it's just there. And then all my digital games will transfer over. And I do want to say, I'm actually very happy Nintendo didn't do the thing where they make you rebuy your older games, because again, people that don't know, there was a long stretch of time where if you bought a game on a Nintendo system, you couldn't bring it over, whether that was the change of format, so cartridge to disc, or maybe when they first started online purchases, digital purchases, you couldn't do that. But look, they stopped their nonsense, and they've given us great backwards compatibility, and hopefully the footage you see in the video, and obviously if you just do your own quick search on YouTube as well, look at the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 editions, and trust me, the enhancements these games are getting will make a major difference. I haven't finished Tears of the Kingdom, but I am considering to play it on the Switch 2 when I get it eventually. But yeah, just want to leave the video on a positive note, guys. Like I said, there was good and bad in the reveal, but the good is that, 4K support, 120 FPS, back compat, First party games look amazing. I'll try and make another video about some of the games that I'm personally excited for. But yeah, guys, like I said, Switch looks amazing. Another great, glorious day in the kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll try and have another video for you soon. And have a good one. Take care. Bye.